What happens when a rising football star finds himself at the center of public scrutiny? In a world where professional athletes are expected to excel both on the field and in their personal lives, Shedeur Sanders, the Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback, is discovering some difficult lessons about decisions, consequences, and personal growth. Today, we're unpacking the controversy surrounding Sanders, how he's addressing it, and what it might mean for his future in the league. It began with a moment of poor judgment that quickly spiraled into a headline-grabbing incident. Shedeur Sanders was recently pulled over for speeding at an alarming 101 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone on I-71 North in Strongsville, Ohio. To complicate matters further, this wasn't his first offense. Earlier this month, Sanders faced a similar situation in Medina, Ohio, where he was clocked going nearly 30 miles per hour over the legal limit. As if that weren't enough, Sanders missed a scheduled court appearance for his initial ticket, which led to a $250 fine and raised plenty of eyebrows within the Browns fan base and front office. While these incidents might seem minor compared to other controversies in pro sports, for a young quarterback in the spotlight, even small mistakes can have major consequences. But this isn't just about a couple of speeding tickets. Situations like these point to a bigger issue: the immense pressure and relentless scrutiny that come with life in the public eye, especially for athletes expected to lead a team. Every choice, every misstep is magnified. And for Sanders, a player many believe could be the future of the Browns franchise, these moments carry extra weight. It didn't take long for both fans and analysts to question his maturity, decision-making, and readiness for the demanding role of a starting NFL quarterback. Criticism came fast and harsh, a clear reminder of how quickly narratives can shift in the ultra-competitive world of professional football. However, instead of ducking the controversy or offering excuses, Sanders took the issue head-on. During a celebrity softball event hosted by Browns tight end David Njoku, Sanders publicly addressed the situation for the first time. "I've made mistakes. I own that," he admitted. "I've made some bad choices, but I learned from them." It was a straightforward, honest response, but one that said a lot. In a sports culture where deflecting blame is all too common, Sanders' decision to take full responsibility was a refreshing show of character. It sent a clear message to his teammates and supporters that while he stumbled, he's also willing to grow. Historically, the Browns have handled off-field issues with a balanced case-by-case approach. And given that Sanders' infractions, while serious, aren't criminal offenses, it's unlikely this will derail his NFL career. If anything, this chapter could prove to be a defining moment in his young journey. Because in the NFL, it's never just about athletic ability. It's about leadership, resilience, and accountability. Often how a player bounces back from adversity shapes their legacy more than highlight reel plays. As training camp approaches and Sanders competes for the starting quarterback role, he'll enter with a bit more wisdom, a sharper perspective, and maybe even a chip on his shoulder. The road ahead in Cleveland won't be easy. It never is. But if he continues facing challenges with the humility he's shown recently, his story might end up inspiring more than just football fans. In an era where personal accountability matters as much as performance, Shedeur Sanders' experience reminds us all, it's not about the mistakes we make, but about how we grow from them. What if I told you that one of the NFL's most promising rookie quarterbacks is making waves, and not for the reasons anyone hoped? Shedeur Sanders, who many believed was on the fast track to becoming the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback, now finds himself under intense public scrutiny after back-to-back reckless driving incidents. Is this just a case of a young player's growing pains, or is the weight of carrying the Sanders name proving too much? Let's dive into the details. Fresh off a standout performance at Browns minicamp, Shedeur Sanders had quickly become one of the most talked-about players in Cleveland. His accuracy, poise, and ability to read defenses had analysts buzzing and fans imagining him under center come week one. It seemed like Sanders was poised to challenge veteran Joe Flacco for that top quarterback spot. But while his stock was rising on the field, trouble was brewing off of it. In the early hours of Tuesday morning, Sanders was pulled over by Cleveland police for driving a staggering 101 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone. The incident, which happened along Interstate 71 North, immediately made headlines and spread across sports networks and social media, while Sanders reportedly remained calm and respectful during the stop, with one officer even calling him a cool, polite young man. It didn't stop the public backlash. Sure, a $250 fine won't dent Sanders' bank account, but the hit to his image is a much bigger issue. Critics, including some of the NFL's loudest voices, were quick to weigh in. Colin Cowherd expressed disappointment in Sanders' recklessness, while Jason Whitlock used the opportunity to point a finger not just at Shedeur, but at his famous father, Shedeur Sanders. On his Fearless podcast, Whitlock argued that when your family turns into a brand, as Dion has done with well-off media, every misstep is amplified. You make a mistake any young person could make, but with social media behind it, the fallout's bigger, he noted. It's the double-edged sword of fame, access and influence paired with a microscope on your every move. To make matters worse, this wasn't Sanders' first run-in with Ohio Traffic Patrol this month. Back on June 6th, he was clocked at 91 miles per hour in a 65 zone outside Medina, Ohio. That stop resulted in a $150 ticket, with additional court fees pushing the total near $249. 2 speeding tickets within a span of 14 days. Not a great look for a rookie quarterback trying to win over a city and an NFL locker room. Some league insiders believe a public apology would be a smart move, whether posted to social media or addressed in an interview. A show of accountability now could go a long way toward repairing his public image and reassuring the Browns organization. After all, in the NFL, how a player carries himself off the field often matters just as much as what they do between the lines. However, not everyone agrees the backlash is warranted. Another panelist on Fearless suggested this might be less about the incidents themselves and more about Sanders' last name. If this was some anonymous rookie fifth-round pick, no one would care, he argued. Young guys with money driving too fast isn't new. The only difference is this kid's got the Sanders name and a camera on him. And honestly, there's truth in that. The combination of family fame, NFL expectations, and the social media spotlight has a way of turning minor mistakes into national stories. Fair or not, Shedeur Sanders now finds himself at a crossroads. Can he prove he's more than a headline? That he's mature enough to handle the responsibility that comes with leading an NFL team? Financially, the tickets total about $500. But reputationally, the cost could be higher if these kinds of stories continue. In a league and a city desperate for a dependable leader under center, even small mistakes can have big consequences. So where does Sanders go from here? Will he own the situation publicly, refocus on football, and let his play do the talking? Or will distractions off the field threaten to derail what could have been a breakout rookie season? Time will tell. But when you're carrying the Sanders legacy and the hopes of an entire franchise, every decision, every headline, every moment matters. The Cleveland Browns have a long history of polarizing quarterbacks, and it looks like that tradition is alive and well. From Baker Mayfield, who relished playing the villain during his Oklahoma days, to the unforgettable Johnny Manziel, whose college brilliance was often overshadowed by off-the-field drama, Cleveland seems drawn to bold, headline-grabbing signal callers. And now, the newest name in that lineup is Shedeur Sanders. The son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, Shedeur has already made waves in Cleveland, following a standout college career at Colorado. His name has been making headlines for both his impressive play and some recent off-field controversies. But despite those early bumps in the road, one former Browns quarterback believes Shedeur has the tools and toughness to rise to the moment and potentially become the franchise leader Cleveland's been searching for. That former QB is none other than Johnny Manziel. Manziel knows exactly what it's like to be the young, polarizing face of the Browns. A former first-round pick and one of college football's most electrifying players, Johnny Football took the nation by storm after winning the Heisman Trophy as a freshman at Texas A&M. Yet his NFL career, filled with promise, lasted just 2 seasons before being derailed by personal struggles and off-field distractions. Now at 32, with the benefit of hindsight, Manziel uses his platform to advise young athletes navigating the same path he once walked. And when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, Manziel is surprisingly hopeful. Speaking on his Glory Days podcast, he shared his belief in the young quarterback's future. He's stepping into a situation in Cleveland where, honestly, I think he's got a legit shot to win that job, Manziel said. I really believe he's going to do well. The kid works his tail off, he loves the game, and I think he's going to be successful. Coming from someone who understands firsthand the unique pressures of being a Browns quarterback, those are meaningful words. Manziel's endorsement is a reminder that while natural ability is vital, succeeding in Cleveland, one of the NFL's most passionate and demanding markets, requires grit, maturity, and a level head. And looking at Shedeur's college numbers, it's easy to see why there's so much optimism. In his final season at Colorado, Sanders threw for 37 touchdowns and completed an incredible 74% of his passes, leading the entire nation in completion percentage. His ability to read defenses, extend plays with his athleticism, and lead with confidence made him one of the most exciting quarterbacks in college football. But talent alone isn't enough to thrive in Cleveland. a franchise with a long, often rocky history at the quarterback position. The Browns' current QB room is filled with experienced veterans and hungry young players alike. Yet, as Manziel pointed out, this is a battle Shedeur can absolutely win. The opportunity is there. The door is open. And if he can stay locked in on football, avoid off-field distractions, and continue refining his game, Sanders could finally be the one to break the Browns' quarterback curse. The road won't be easy. The expectations will be high. The spotlight will be relentless. But with his talent, unwavering confidence, and now the support of a former Browns QB who knows exactly what it takes, Shedeur Sanders has a real chance to write his own chapter in Cleveland sports history. So Browns fans and NFL followers alike, this is a story you'll want to follow closely. Will Shedeur emerge from training camp as the team's starter? Can he thrive where so many before him have struggled? Or will Cleveland's revolving door of quarterbacks continue to spin? Let us know what you think in the comments. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. And don't forget to subscribe for non-stop coverage of the NFL's biggest stories and rising stars. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.